All right, hello, and welcome, everybody to Play May. We are finally here. Sorry, we're playing musical chairs with our camera screens right now, but it's me, WordiGirl, even though I keep shifting around, and I am joined by some very cool people here to play through a one-shot adventure that I created for Adventure April called Albitrunca. And these wonderful beings that I am with will introduce themselves. Feel free to start. We have Colonel, 101 Colonel. Some of you will probably know. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
101 Colonel or Colonel 101, depending on where I'm at. It's do the Three Dark Ages there for D&D on WorldAnvil on the creating it and running it with Selma as a player for it, and certainly always happy for people to visit it. And I'll pass it to one of the young ladies here.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, next we have Roxoda.
Yeah, that's me. I saw an ad to play the game yesterday and figured why not? I am totally new to tabletop games, so this should be fun.
Thank you so much for joining me again. And if you'd like to check out Roxoda, there is going to be a link in the chat. Coming up next, we have Rumi.
Hello. I'm also new to this, and I'm very excited to try it out for the first time. Because I've always liked D&D games, and this looks like it could be really, really fun.
All right, once again, I thank you guys for joining me. So we are going to start with just put some music right here on, and then we are going to start by introducing everyone to what Albitrunca is. So basically, Albitrunca is a maze. It's an underground secret maze that is owned by the Will-O-Wisp organization. For those of you who do not know what Will-O-Wisp is, basically, Will-O-Wisp is a spy company in the world that I am writing. Many of you may know Secret Agent Someone, and basically, Will-O-Wisp is the company that he works for. In this case, we have a secret place that is underground, and most of the time they use it to train interns to do test missions through. But there are suspicions that the maze is used for more than just testing interns, and that's what we are going to figure out today. We have 3 players, as you've seen. Colonel will be playing Agent Fulgrim, and he is an actual agent who has been sent into the maze on a mission. If only he could remember what that mission was. Next, we will meet our android agent, Tal OS, who is being played by Roxoda, and she is pretty much a real human, of course. And she is kind of upset because she accidentally made an error in the field, and they sent her back here to Albitrunca, where many androids are tested and stored. She wants to escape and get back out. And lastly, we have the mysterious Evelyn Pathfinder, who is a prisoner in the maze. And we will figure more out about her. So, to set the scene, this is what's happening. You, Agent Fulgrim, have just kind of wandered around in the maze and wondered about what's going on. Because you, of course, were sent here for something, but for some reason you just can't remember what it was for. As you wander the halls, you hear a sound. And that sound is coming from another person walking inside the maze, who is Agent Tal OS. You, of course, are an android, and you've been walking around in the maze. You were powered off when they brought you here, but you just... Uh-oh. You were powered off when they brought you here, but when you came back on, powered on, you did not know where the entrance was and where the exit was, but you were determined to figure out so that you could get back into the field and be an agent. So you two have now come in contact with each other. You will be represented on the screen. Agent Fulcrum here is the blue piece, and you, Agent Tal, are the white piece with orange. So, how do you proceed?
Okay, I'll walk up to Tal and introduce myself. I'm Agent Fulgrim, and any idea as to why we're here?
Not a clue. I seem to have my memory core wiped. I don't really remember anything about why I'm here, how I got here. I'd like to get back out.
Yeah, I was sent down here for some reason and never told why. Just got a
It's the blind leading the blind.
side.
This is gonna be fun.
Just somebody else here that could help us.
So, as you are talking with Tal, Agent Fulgrim, you start thinking, maybe was the mission that I was sent in here for to help Tal get out of here? And you start thinking that was probably your mission. Meanwhile,
Maybe.
you too hear another noise. It's another person walking in the maze. And that would be Evelyn Pathfinder. Evelyn?
No, agent.
Sorry, my mic muted itself for some
It's
reason.
okay.
Let me think. So, I see the two of you.
Yes, and you hear that Agent Fulcrum does say it's another agent. So in this case, you could tell that you are a prisoner, or you could pretend to be another agent. It's up to you.
I think I would pretend in the beginning.
Okay. So how do you introduce yourself?
She wouldn't trust them at first. Especially when it's another agent, because she's also an ex-agent. Let's see. She will introduce herself as Helen.
So you two walk along the maze and you find a young lady who seems to be normal for the most part, I guess. She looks a little worried, and she kind of straightens up and smiles when she hears you say, "It's another agent." And she says, "Yes. My name is Helen."
Hello,
Nice to
Helen.
meet you, Helen.
All right, so the three of you are now in the center of this maze. So what you're going to need to do is to roll to navigate through the maze. Now, since we have a human, we have an enhanced, and we have an android. Each of these move through the maze differently. So firstly, we're gonna go ahead and let Colonel, you are Agent Fulgrim, you're a human, so you will roll a d4 to move through the maze.
Two.
You got a 2? All right, so which way do you want to go? Do you want to go to the right or to the left?
Well, go to the left.
All right. So you are going that way. Next, we have the android. You can roll a d8 to move through the maze.
I feel like we should talk about if we were going to stick together or not.
Yes.
I got a 5.
All right. So do you think you want to follow Agent Fulcrum through the maze, or do you want to try to go out on your own?
Yeah, I'll go the same direction.
Okay.
Kind of like scoot past them, get in front.
Alrighty. And next we have enhanced. So you roll a d6 to get through the maze. Rumi.
D6. Okay.
Nice.
A4.
Are you following them, or are you trying to go in a different direction?
I will follow them.
Okay. All right. As you guys are walking through the maze, you start to hear something that is a little bit mechanical sounding, even more mechanical than you, Agent Tall. It sounds like heavy metal footsteps echoing, and they sound a little ominous. And they're coming from the direction that you're going in. Do you guys want to keep going in that direction?
Do we have can I do a perception check of some sort?
Sure. So you are... Yep, go ahead and roll a d20 for wisdom. All right.
In wisdom, I have a +4.
True. So you only get a 6. When you get a 6, you sense that it seems a little bit familiar, the footsteps, but you kind of can't really tell what that is up ahead. In fact, you're a little bit curious to keep going that way to figure out what it is. All right. You guys may move through the maze again unless you want to do something else. We're going to go ahead, Colonel, you can go ahead and roll a d4 to move through the maze again.
4.
Okay, you will continue in the way you're going. Next, go ahead and Agent Tell, you can roll a d8 again. Six. All right. So you're really eager to figure out what these noises are. Evelyn, you may roll a d6. All right. Are you following them as well?
Yeah.
Okay. As you follow them, the noises get louder and louder, and soon you see a shadowy figure down the hallway.
Alright, I want to look around again. Because now, they sounded familiar, right? But
yes.
now that we can see a shadow, I want to look again.
Alright, feel free to go ahead and roll for wisdom again. Ooh, that was a natural 20. All right.
All right.
So now that you see the thing closer, you can realize that it is one of the android. It's a similar android, but of course you know that you're a real human. These, are not real human androids. These are mechanical drones that have no face, and they are complete robots. They have no personality. And as you round the corner, it looks in your direction, even though it doesn't have a face, but you can tell it's staring you down menacingly. All right, so at this point, the rest of them are behind you. Are you going to tell them to keep going this way, or are you going to...
I might tell them, hey, there's a android in front of us, drone type, not intelligent at all, not like me. But I don't know if we want to go that way.
What do you guys think about it?
Can you maybe speak to it?
I mean, I don't know that it's even capable of speech, and if it is, it's just going to give us canned responses.
True.
It's not.
We could sneak past it.
You could try.
Are you guys sneaky?
I'd like to think I am.
All right. So is it a consensus that you guys want to try to sneak past this android?
Well, we can try, I'm sure.
All right. Well, you guys are going to have to roll to go through the maze, but this time also roll a d20 for dexterity. Agent Fulgrim is up first.
Yep, that's got a 3. Was it movement? Is it
A 3 to walk.
D20.
Okay.
3 to walk, but for the D20, 4 altogether.
4 altogether with your modifier as well.
Well, what's my minus?
Yep, you have 1 minus. Yes. That is not good. Let's see what the others do. Tal. All right. That is a D12. That is a 12. Plus your, you don't have a modifier in dexterity, so 12 is pretty good. So you went 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've come close to it, and you see it's still looking like it doesn't really see you. Now, it's your turn, Evelyn.
Okay. Oh my god.
All right, so that one is for the stealth, but you also have to roll for to move through the maze. So go ahead and roll a d6 to see how many steps you took. All right, thankfully you're still kind of behind the wall. So you and Agent Fulgrim aren't in the presence quite yet. Therefore, those faulty stealth rolls fortunately didn't do too much damage to you yet. So it's your turn again, Agent Fulcrum. You can go ahead and roll a d4 to move, and then a d20 to see if you will be stealthy enough.
Move 4 and 13 for stealthy.
All right, so now you are right behind Agent Tal, and you're pretty stealthy. Your turn, Agent Tal. All right, So, you are now at a crossroads. So, do you want to keep going towards this android, or do you want to turn out to get out of this part of the maze?
Yeah, I want to get out.
Okay. Your tin was just stealthy enough for the android to not see you as you're slipping through the maze. It's your turn now, Evelyn. A d6 to move. All right, just one
I am
step.
so unlucky.
It's fine. You just did one step, so you don't even need to roll for stealth at this point, because you're still not in the presence of the android. All right, Agent Fulgrim, you roll again to move.
What is?
I can't hear you. Uh-oh. He's back.
I got the full 4 there.
Okay. So do you want to continue towards this android, or do you want to follow Agent Tal and leave?
I'll follow Agent Tall and leave.
All right. So also roll a d20 for dexterity and see if you're stealthy enough.
Oh no. 7.
Uh-oh. All right. So as you're going past, you kind of go past Agent Tal, and the android kind of like, I thought I saw something there, and takes a step towards you. And you guys think it's better for you guys to quickly get out of there. Evelyn, are you going to try to follow them? You're quite behind now.
I'll do one more roll and see how it goes.
Okay.
And I'll follow them. What's the worst that can happen?
All right. You are now in the sights of the android, so you're going to have to roll a d20 to see if you are stealthy enough to not be detected.
Come on. Small baby steps to a big one.
Yes!
18.
That is good. All right. With that, you are able to successfully sneak past, and now all 3 of you are out of that corridor from the android. And it has not seen you fully. All right, so now that you are out of there, what are you guys going to do? You see that these halls are very dark and dim. The walls are metal, and there's just like a little faint gray light illuminating the path, but everything seems so dark and everything looks almost exactly the same.
I don't know about you guys, but I think I want to take a right.
Yeah, can we like look around, see if maybe like we can peer down the corner and see if it's brighter one way or the other?
All right, so you guys try to do that, and as you attempt to peer down the corner, it doesn't look like any way is brighter than the other way. But I do know that you, Agent Fulgrim, and you, Agent Tall, both have Wisp Navies. So, for those of you who don't know, Wisp Navies are little tablet devices that agents have that can help get them some information. So, you could try to see if you could bring up a map of the area and try to compass your way out of here with your Wisp Navi. Do you guys think you want to try that?
Oh, definitely. I'll break it out and see how it operates.
All right. So as you bring out your Wisp Navi, you will try to find an app that would get you the information you're looking for. But Agent Fulgrim, as you're looking at it, you just can't seem to remember anything about how it even works. But you managed to do something, and what you're going to do is try to roll a d12.
Don't mind me, I'm just watching you guys. I have no items on me.
Why not?
Because I'm a prisoner. I had everything taken from me.
We don't know you're a prisoner yet.
I know.
Are you telling the party this? You can.
Not yet, no.
Okay. So then
I was just kidding around.
what would your character say to
I'm
say,
just peeking behind them to see the map.
Okay. So when Agent Hall does ask, like, why don't you have anything? You can make up an excuse of why you don't have anything.
Yeah. I could probably say, I've lost everything in the research room before I got into the maze.
Yeah, okay. Seems plausible.
All right. So, Agent Fulgrim, have you had any success with that Wisp Navi?
No, roll the 5.
You rolled a 5? Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, rolling a 5, you see that you managed to pull up a map. But it's not the full map. It's just a section of where you're at. And you can see that from here, there is a door if you walk to the... Let me see. Which one is closer? Well, this... You're gonna have to walk... the way you're facing, you will have to walk left. Then you will have to go down a corridor and then turn right. And you'll be closer to getting out of here. That is what you're able to see, but you're not able to see everything.
Okay.
Do you guys want to trust that Wisp Navi and follow those directions?
I will. I don't know about the other two.
What about you, Agent Hall?
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, whatever. I'm good with whatever.
And Evelyn, when you're watching the map on Agent Fulgrim's tablet, it flickers a bit, and it seems like it might be true. Do you guys want to follow it? Do you want to follow them as they follow it, Evelyn?
It flickers. That's kind of suspicious.
But since all of you are agents or were former agents, you are aware that within the maze, there's hardly any signal. So it's quite a miracle that he was even able to get that tidbit of information.
Yeah, I'll just follow them for now.
Alrighty. So you all follow the Wisp Navi. And you soon make it to... I will go ahead and move you guys all the way over here. Following the Wisp Navi, you all make it to a door. And you feel that this door, you see it's locked, but you feel like this door is going to help you get closer to getting out of this maze.
Can I look at the door?
Sure. All right. When you look at the door, you see that there is a small screen on the door. Let me see. Nope. Okay, so there's not a small screen on this door. When you approach this door, it sits rather plainly with only a simple lock staring back at you. If only you had a sharp object, you would surely be able to pick the lock and get through.
That's me out.
Alright, I'm gonna start like looking around, looking at the floor, seeing if there's like something that somebody might have dropped.
Okay. As you begin looking around and looking at the floor, you start to hear a noise. It sounds less like mechanical and more like a tink-a-dink, 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 like almost something clinking like keys or a bell or something. And it's quite distant.
And it's on the other side of the door, is it?
No, it sounds like it's coming from behind you guys somewhere.
Take a look.
All right, so you guys look around. It's still so dim and dark, and you can't really see what that is. But you think that... Oh, go ahead.
Nothing. I would say I would rather not go and look there. I think it's a guard holding some keys.
All right.
But we can try steal them.
That's an idea. All right. So quickly, you guys can take a look at your inventory. You, even though you're a little absent-minded, Aiden Fulgrim, you remember that you do have an electro blaster cannon. Also, Tal, your memory has been wiped, but you remember that you also have an electro blaster pistol built into your arm. So,
Like Inspector Gadget style.
yes.
Bend back the wrist and the pistol comes out. It's very cool.
Super cool. So Evelyn, even though right now you don't seem to have anything, do you guys want to follow Evelyn's plan to try to overtake that guard and get whatever they have?
We could. No, it's
Sure.
don't
Yeah.
avoid anybody else.
All right. So we're going to say you guys start to head into the direction of where you hear that noise coming from. Who's going to try to lead?
I don't know, you
Probably.
guys. I have no weapon on me.
It was your idea, though.
I can distract him. You guys shoot.
All right. Well, so that
If you
sounds
want
like...
to- And if you want to, I could lead along there with the big blaster.
I can go first to get to get the guard's attention, so it gets closer, and then you guys blast it to pieces.
Okay, so Evelyn, I'm gonna need you to roll a d20 or wisdom to see if you can discover which way this noise is coming from, because everything's so echoey here.
12.
All right, it's a little hard to discern, but you are pretty sure that you know which direction this guard is in, so you lead the crew down this hallway here. And as you guys make your way almost around the bend, you're up at the front. Agent Fulgrim is right behind you. Agent Tal is right behind him. Then you begin to hear another noise alongside that clinking, clinking noise. It is and it almost sounds like a dog panting. Do you guys want to continue? Or do you want to turn back?
Yeah, we've come this far. Let's keep going.
I think I know what it is, and I want to go. I want to keep going.
All right.
Let's go.
As you guys stand round the corner and you come face to face with this thing that you thought was a guard, Your blaster's pointed. You're ready to distract. And you see it's just a big, fluffy, adorable white Pyrenean mountain dog. And it's just looking at you guys and just... and it's just, like, looking very confused and a little bit curious.
Pet him!
Yeah, can we pet the dog?
All right, so all three of you just instantly go up to him and just, oh, it's a dog. And then you start petting him, and he's just basking in all the pets. And you're just, his fur is so super soft. And he's just
Can we
enjoying
keep him?
this. And when you say, can we keep him, he says, oh, yes, of course. And he actually talks.
Oh my lord, it speaks.
And he says, what are you guys doing in here? Aren't you guys agents or something?
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
And it's good to meet you.
yes.
I'll pat him again.
My name is Mishak, and I was just, patrolling this area, but I didn't think any other agents were supposed to be patrolling this area. This is my shift.
And who would be your next shift?
They were just gonna send those, mindless drones in, to just, just walk around. I don't think they're as effective as, one of us who are really able to see and hear and stuff. But, they just do that so people can get a break when they need a break. I haven't played fetch in a long time, and it's time for me to play fetch again.
Does he have anything to play fetch with? Maybe a set of keys? I'll throw the keys for you.
And he says, oh, well, I don't really have keys. I just have my little tag here. And you see he has a tag that says Mishak, and it's on a little... But you notice it is on a little ring that is like a jump ring that if you pull it, it can bend open. And he has his
I'm
collar.
taking that.
So you try to take it from him?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to need you to roll for dexterity. All right, a 17. You managed to go ahead and snatch it off really quickly. And he kind of almost doesn't notice you taking it. And he says, all right, do you guys have something to play fetch with? And he starts jumping around, excited. Now, Agent Fulgrim, you remember that you do have a jar of Vex Peels. If you're willing to use that for a fetch game.
Yep, but I'll take it out and sort of throw it back up the corridor that of a distance.
All right, he says, and he runs after it really fast. And there he is. He's gone. But now you have the tag he had on his neck, and it does have a sharp little piece on it. What do you guys want to try to do now?
We're going back to the door, right? We're gonna try and use the thing to shim the lock.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys leave your new furry friend behind and quickly run back to the door. As you approach the door, who is going to be trying to pick that lock?
If that's dexterity, it's probably not me.
Me, then.
Definitely not.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna give her
I'll
the
do it.
little thing.
All right, so Evelyn takes the little chain that was around the dog's neck, and with your dexterity, go ahead and roll a d20 and see if you're able to pick the lock. 9. All right, but you do have a +4, so that is a 13. It's the door almost seems like you almost got it, and then it just doesn't quite open. So now you start to hear the coming back down the hallway, and here comes Meshach, and he's up to you guys, and he says, "All right, I fetched it." And he says, "Hey, wait, what are you guys doing?"
We're making sure that this door is still secure and locked. It is. Everything's good.
Okay. And he starts looking a little bit suspicious of you.
Did he bring back the pills?
Yes, he brought back your pills, so you have them back in your inventory now, unless you decide to throw them again.
I'll throw them again.
As you throw them again, he instinctually turns to fetch them, but then he's like, and then he looks back at you guys with a side eye, and he's like,
We need to convince him.
Yeah, so if one of you wants to try to convince him to actually go fetch, you have to roll for charisma. Which one of you is going
Who's
to
good
try?
at charisma here?
Oh, goodness. It looks like none of you guys have a positive modifier in charisma, but I don't think you want to trust Agent Fulgrim. He has a -4 in charisma.
I'll persuade myself quicker than anyone else.
You wanna go for it, Tal?
Yeah, I'll try.
All right. What do you say to him? He's just looking at you like... So what do you say? How are you trying to convince him? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I can't hear. Okay, hold on. So meanwhile...
Yes, no.
Are you talking now? Yes, I can hear you now.
I'm trying. Okay,
Yay!
sorry.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
That's okay. All right, did you hear us or you didn't hear? Okay.
No.
Okay. So, well, how do you try to convince Meshach to go fetch?
I don't know. Well, I already told him that the door's still locked, we checked it, and it's all good, so he doesn't need to worry.
So you're gonna say...
I don't know.
All right, so...
Just more of that, I think.
So Tal is just like, giving a look like, go fetch. And the way your eyes and your mannerisms look, he just kind of looks back and he can't resist and he runs to go get the pills again. And as he does that, Evelyn, you can try one more time to try to pick the lock.
All right.
So he is now down the hall. Oh. Well, you unfortunately do not pick the lock, and he does return. And he brings your pills back, Agent Fulgrim, and they're at your feet now. And the bottle is quite, now slobbery. And he says, I don't know. I think I'm done playing fetch.
Nice.
Cool.
Is the door open at all?
Nope. She tried to pick the lock. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. So, do you guys want to try to find another door? Because you guys did see that there was another door in this room, but it was down a hall. Or do you want to try to distract him again so you can try to pick that lock?
Is there no other way to open the door without the lock?
Unfortunately, this door only has a regular lock, and you don't see any other way to try to get through it. But unless you have, you could try to like blast it or something. But you don't know if that's gonna work.
What if these keys aren't meant for this door?
Well, it wasn't really keys. What it was just his name tag.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I don't think we can try and do anything with this door while he is still here. Right?
Well, you could
So we
try
gotta
and
move
see what
on
happens.
one way or the other.
If you don't think it's wise, then don't. But if you want to try and see what happens if you try to pick the lock while he's right there, you can try.
You can just convince him something else.
Yeah, none of us are charismatic enough to convince him to do anything.
Just lie to him. Tell him that we've been sent here for, I don't know, checking
say
the
that
androids or the robots, and we need to check what's behind the door.
All right, so
Or
you
up
say
to the
this to
door.
him? All right, saying that, go ahead and roll a d20.
Oh boy. Whew.
Oh, okay. He says, all right. Well, carry on then. I'm gonna just make my final rounds before getting off my shift. And then he leaves you guys to the door. Are you gonna try one more time to pick the lock?
Well,
Sure.
we may as well.
All right, roll a d20. Alrighty. With your +4 dexterity, you just breeze through that lock this time. That door is open. And you guys feel the urge to quickly run before the dog comes back. Alright, as you guys go into this next part of the maze, you will see there's a dim blue hue lighting this room, even though the walls are still very dark and very cold and metal. But this blue seems very familiar, and it makes you think that you're almost out of here. But something still feels a little scary, like there's not friendly dogs in this area.
There's big spiders, is there?
Uh-oh. We'll have to see. All right. So you guys can go ahead and roll. Who's in front? You're in front now, Evelyn. Go ahead and roll your D6. Yes, to see you move through the maze. All right. So you're just kind of cautiously moving in. Go ahead, Tal, and roll a d8. All right, you're keeping pace. All right, and now Agent Fulgrim's going to roll a d2. I mean d4. D4.
3.
What did you say?
There's a 3.
Oh, it's a 3. All right.
3.
So you guys are kind of all towards in the same area. and you begin to hear more mechanical sounds, but they sound like way more footsteps than you heard the first time. And they're up ahead.
Alright, perception check.
All right, go ahead and roll. Ooh, natural 20. All right, you detect somehow from the sound that you know that there's 6 of these guys ahead of you. And they're still the mindless, faceless drones.
Okay. I tell the rest of our group, oh hey, I think I hear about 6 guys up ahead.
I start bringing out the big gun.
As you bring out your big cannon, and I'm sure, Tal, you ready your little pistol built-in Inspector Gadget style. If you, Evelyn, could roll a d20 for wisdom to see if you can figure out something. Well, you feel like you know that there's something somewhere in here, but you can't really tell where it is, but you thought you saw something on the ground that might help you. But you might have to go back to get it.
Okay.
Alright, so who's going forward towards the guys and who's going back?
Well, I'm going back.
I'll go forward a bit.
Alright, go ahead and roll your d4.
3 again.
Alright. Brave Agent Fulcrum is stepping ahead of the group, ready to face these guys. Blaster is ready. Alright, Tal, what are you doing?
I guess I'll go with him.
Alright, roll a d8. Oop, Tal is getting very eager to meet these guards. Alright, so you will go ahead and you will come face to face with these guards now. But before we start this, Evelyn, roll a d6. Alright.
I really like taking small steps.
As you take a small step back, you do notice a stick on the ground. And you don't really know exactly what it is, but it seems like it'll be better than having nothing.
Yep.
Alright, do you pick that up?
Yeah, I pick it up.
Alright, meanwhile, up here at the front, it's time for the big battle. These guys are quite menacing, and even though they have no face, you can tell that they are very, very alert, and they are just staring at you. They've all walked in unison and stopped and looked directly at you, and they're ready to attack. So,
Shut them.
all right, so you want to just go ahead and fire first. All right, so
I'm not making the first move.
All right, so you're gonna roll. You're going to roll a d20.
Ready up. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
One.
It's a 1. Okay. So, you will... So, okay. You are up in the front of the gang. You are ready. You aim your cannon. You're like, say hello to my little friend. And then when you press the button, you realize that the blaster is face towards you. And you blast yourself and you're on the ground now. Unfortunately, that does take out 5 damage. Ooh, so Tal, you see that Agent Fulgrim is now on the ground, and the androids are still standing there, totally unimpressed.
Okay. I mean, I don't have anything to heal him with or anything, so I guess I'm just gonna shoot at them.
Okay. Well, alright, so you have a blaster pistol. And you're going to go ahead and, how many times are you going to try to fire? You only have 6 blasts at a time before you have to recharge. And there are 6
I'm only
guys.
gonna shoot. Yeah, probably twice.
Alright, you're gonna fire twice. Alright. Go ahead and roll a d20.
This one.
Alright. Your blast successfully hit both of the guys that you aim at, and you can see they visibly stumble back, and their little lights that are on their chest flicker a little bit. But now they kind of lower their heads, and they're very upset at you, and they raise their own arms to point at you. Meanwhile, Evelyn, are you back with your stick?
Yeah.
Alright, so
There's nothing magic can do with my stick.
you're looking at the stick, and it looks a little bit more sophisticated than just a regular stick. You see that there seems to be a button on there.
Oh my
And
god.
on the end, there's like little prongs, and you can almost see like some electric energy like pulsing between those little plugs at the end.
Oh my god, I'm in Star Wars.
Either that or the Western world's got better.
So I have a cool saber now?
It's kind of like a bow staff, kind of, and it has some little
Battle
electric
prod.
things in the end.
Pretty cool.
All right, so how many times are you gonna try to hit? Well, you don't know what it can do, so I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh I'll try 2 times
All
as a
right.
test.
All right, so you try and you swing and hit 2 guys. Go ahead and roll a d20. All right, you successfully hit those 2 guys that you aimed at, and as you hit them, they zzz, and they electrocute a little bit, and you see they stumble back. So these are the same 2 guys that Tal hit, and you see that they are kind of just so sluggish right now, and they are almost, you can tell they're almost out of energy. So these 2 are kind of falling back, but the other 4 are on high alert now, and it's time for them to try to attack you guys. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So they line up and they fire. Each of you gets hit 1 time at least, and you lose 1 hit point each. So now, Agent Fulcrum, you were already on the ground. If you were trying to get up, you just got blasted again. What are you gonna try to do now?
Am I still standing?
All right, you stand up. Now you remember, suddenly when you're getting up, you start hearing that, you start feeling something in your pocket, and you're like, oh man, those slobbery peels. But then you remember, they're Vex peels, and they might be able to heal you. Right now you have 6 hit points taken out of you. So do you want to take a chance on those Vex peels, or do you want to just try to fight without?
I'll have a go at shutting there first. I might need one afterwards.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll a d20 then.
A 3.
All right. So you are feeling a little bit dizzy from getting blasted with that electric shock. And so you try to blast at the guard, and then you completely miss. All right, Tal, your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 more shots.
All right, go ahead and roll a d20. Oh, no. All right, so as you are aiming at these guys, then you are like, they're right in your sights, and then suddenly something weird happens, and you twitch and glitch, and then your arm flinches, and you end up blasting yourself on the ground as well. But you only get, let me see, you only get 1 damage taken out of you from that. So you have a total of 2 damage taken out. All right, Evelyn.
So I guess it's up to me now. There's 4 left that are alert.
Yes.
Well, I have no choice then. I tried to hit all of them.
All right, you try to hit all 4. Go ahead and roll a d20. Alrighty. So you hit 2 of them, and they electrocute and spark out, and they kind of fall back. But the other 2, when you hit them, they are not getting as affected, but they did get hit. But they did not get electrocuted. And it looks to you that this this electric stick that you have kind of ran out of electricity, but you can still use it to hit. All right, so the 2 that are still alert are quite upset now. So they are going to try to attack you. Unfortunately, they don't do too much damage. They try to rush forward, but they're kind of tripping over those of them that are kind of inhibited right now, so they don't really get a good attack in on you guys. You were thankfully okay this time. All right, Agent Fulgrim, do you want to do anything with those peels, or no?
I'll take one now.
All right.
I'll take one now.
Okay, so as you are you remember that these peels are experimental. They are supposed to help you, maybe, to improve or to get health. But there's a possibility it might not work. Alright, so you're going to roll a d12.
D12. 8.
8. Alright, you got 1 hit point restored. So now you are only missing 5 hit points. And you have 4 more peels left in that bottle. Alright, do you want to try to attack as well on your turn? Or do you want to try to run?
Yeah,
It looks like they are blocking the way that you feel like is the way to get out of here, though.
So I'll have a go at shutting them.
Alright, go ahead and
Knowing
roll a
my
d.
luck. Yeah, everybody.
Hmm?
19.
This time he's a sharpshooter. Agent Fulgrim finally remembers how to use his weapon. He blasts, and the remaining two that are fully alert fall back. And now you kind of have like a sluggish group of almost zombie androids that are faceless, and they're just like, ugh. And they are like glitching and sparking out, and they're still trying to come at you though. Tal?
Alright. Do that.
All right. And you fire at all of them, and they all kind of, well, you're able to hit a total of, oh yes, you have 6. Yep, so you're able to hit all of them, and they are very weakened now. Evelyn, your turn.
I have to roll a d20.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, roll a d20. All right, with the last of the guys, you are able to hit them all, and even though your stick does not electrocute them, they are all out now. They are all down for the count. You have successfully disabled all 6 of these guards that were in your way. And you are free
Woo, we
to
did it.
proceed forward. All right, so
Nice job, team.
there's just a pile of like sparking androids just piled up in the corner, and you have to step over them a bit, but you can continue forward. All right, so who's in the lead this time?
Oh,
All right, Tal decides to step up. Tal moves forward. All right, who's following Tal?
Okay, I'll follow.
All right, slowly but surely, Evelyn is following. Alrighty, Agent Fulgrim,
Okay.
go ahead and roll a d4.
No, just the 2.
All right, you are lagging
Just the 2
behind.
there.
Lagging behind with Evelyn here. All right, Tal.
just keep walking? Is that
Yep.
the plan?
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, you come to a fork in the road. Which direction do you think you want to go in? Right or left?
I'm thinking left.
All right. Your left, as in the maze, or the the left side looking at it. I just wanted to make sure I didn't put you in the wrong spot. But I think you're saying that your character's left in the maze, correct?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, you're going left. All right.
Okay.
Are you guys going to try to catch up to her, or are you guys going to try to do something else?
No. I'll try and catch up with her.
All right, so you guys managed to just catch up. to her. Alrighty. This is quite hilarious. I forgot to disable some of these commands that I have on my channel. Thank you to whoever's redeeming those. But anyways, as you guys go through the maze, you will start to hear something else. You hear another sound, and it sounds like very quiet sound. Does anybody want to see if they can investigate what that is? Or do you want to just keep going?
I'll investigate if nobody else wants to.
I mean, you're good at it.
Alright. As you try to hear, the sound is so faint.
+4.
Oh, you do have a +4, yes. Okay, so the sound is very faint, but you can vaguely detect that it sounds like it's not quite footsteps, but more of something kind of quiet and mechanical that is positioning itself towards you. And if you look around, you will see a small turret that is mounted up on the wall. And on the top of it is a camera that seems that something is looking at you guys.
Alright, I'm going to, quietly, kind of nudge everybody and be like, hey, up there's a camera watching us.
Alright.
Should we get rid of it or ignore it?
What do you want to do? Do you want to try to take it out, or do you want to try to sneak past?
But trying to take it out doesn't sound great either, because, if there's somebody on the other side and all of a sudden it goes dead, that's suspicious too. But,
we could,
whatever.
we could try and sneak past.
Alright, so everybody go ahead and roll the d20 to try for dexterity. Oop.
1.
Oh no. What a... Oop.
Step
Alright.
aside, guys.
Yes. Evelyn quickly and very stealthily makes her way past this whole area, and you see that you are down the hall and there's a door ahead of you. Unfortunately for Tal has you just got a 5. So as you're going, you can tell that the camera has now set its sights on you and is completely locked in on you. Unfortunately, Agent Fulgrim has made a very loud noise, tripping and falling over himself, and the camera has now lit up. And you hear zzz, and a little turret folds out and points directly at you, Agent Fulgrim, and you see a little red dot on yourself. At this point, the turret fires. And it does hit you, and it does hit Tal. So each of you get 1 hit point taken out. What do you guys want to do now?
Okay.
It has seen you now. Either you can run or you can try to take it out.
Well, I'll try shooting it.
Alright, go ahead and roll your d20.
that's what I call revenge. 17.
All right. So you're very upset at this turret now, and you're tired of appearing as a fool to your fellow agents. You have taken aim on this turret, and right before it's able to shoot at you, you blast it, and the whole turret is just off the wall. There's just like a little mount just sitting there smoking, and the turret has been destroyed. So you guys managed to catch up to Evelyn, who has gone ahead of you, and you find yourselves at another door.
What's this on door like?
All right, as you look at this door, there's a screen on the door, and it appears to have almost like a faint handprint, as if it expects a hand to press onto the door and let you in.
I'll put my hand on it.
All right, as you put your hand on it, the screen lights up red, and you hear access denied.
I'm putting my hand up too.
All right, Tal will try to put her hand on it. The same noise happens. Access denied. Now you're starting to think that you guys might not be able to get through here unless you have another hand.
Okay. So what if I try?
All right, as Evelyn, you put your hand on there, it will flash red. It will say, beep, beep, alert, 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 prisoner detected, prisoner detected, and you will start to hear sirens. At this point, you guys did not know that she was a prisoner, so how do you?
But now we do.
How are
I'm gonna
you
look
looking?
shocked and aghast. You lied to us.
Do you do anything to explain yourself, Evelyn?
I'll just say the truth. I'm an ex-agent. I've been imprisoned because someone framed me for murder, and it was very hard to trust and tell you guys the truth because I hold information about this facility, and it costed my partner's life because I told the wrong people.
Yeah, I'm not sure I believe anything you say now. So
What do you say?
I mean, that's
about
fine.
this?
You don't have to believe me.
What do you say about this, Agent Fulgrim?
Well, I'm just standing there looking rather suspiciously at her, with a finger on the trigger.
Uh-oh. At this point, you all begin to hear lots of more mechanical footsteps behind you, slowly gaining.
we don't have time for this. We gotta go find a hand, whether or not we need to cut one off of somebody else. Let's go back down the hallway and find a way to get out.
All right, as you guys go back down the hallway, you come across that pile of androids that you obliterated, and you see one of their arms is crooked and almost falling off, and you notice that even though these mindless drones have no face and no eyes, their hands do have weird patterns on them, and it gives you an idea that maybe, just maybe, one of these hands might unlock that door.
I'll rough it off.
All right, Agent Fulgrim rips off the arm, and you guys now hear louder footsteps coming down the hall behind you all. Are you heading back to the door?
As quickly as possible with this hand.
All right, so you guys run back to the door, and you place the hand on the door, and it flashes green and says access granted, and the door opens. And you all are able to proceed through. You also begin to hear those footsteps behind you getting louder and louder.
Can we close the door behind us?
You may.
Okay.
All right. At this point, you are quite certain that the last door that is here is going to be your exit door. But Agent Fulgrim, now with the revelation that Evelyn is a prisoner, and you know that you're an agent that was sent in here to do something, what are you going to do about this?
I'm gonna turn to her and point the blaster at her. Not going anywhere. You're not getting out of here. Kneel down.
How do you react, Evelyn?
Maybe I have something on me that I can prove him that I'm just a victim to all of this, and I've been framed.
All right. Well, we're gonna see. Roll a d20.
Okay.
Ooh. All right. So Evelyn repeats her story to you. She basically tells you that, listen, this company is weird. I figured something out that they wanted to silence me. So they tried to kill me, and then they framed me for killing my friend. And they put me in here, and they tried to wipe my memory so that I don't remember what I found out. And you don't remember what you're in here for, do you? And Agent Fulgrim, you begin to think it is weird that you don't remember anything, and you don't even remember why you were in here. And something makes you feel like you want to lower your blaster.
Okay. I do. To one side.
All right. So, also, Agent Tal, you realize that what Evelyn's saying makes a little bit of sense, because you were such a great agent, and just because you were an android and you made one mistake, they tried to erase your memory and trap you in this place again. And you think something's weird about this organization, and you think you should probably get out of here.
I'm all up for getting out. Let's keep going.
All right. So at this point, you guys see that there is a door ahead of you, and you guys make it to the final door, and you know that beyond this door, you're going to be out. What do you guys want to do when you get out? Are you going to try to still work for Will-O-Wisp, or are you going to try to escape, or what is your plan here?
I'll keep working for them, but I'll start building up a little secret file if I can. Of any potentially dodgy goings on.
All right. Do you guys think that you would want to stay in as well, but just have a secret society going on within the organization? Or do you guys want to try to get out?
I'm staying around because I want to figure out what happened, why did they take my memory, something's fishy, and I'm going to figure it out. And you can't figure it out from the outside. You have to do that from inside.
All right. And what about you, Evelyn?
I'm staying because I need to avenge my friend and find the culprit
All right. So this final door, you see, it has a regular electronic lock, and you don't have the key to it, but if you roll for perception, all of you guys can roll for d20.
That's
10 plus
17.
4, 22.
Nice. All right, all of you guys have excellent perception. You realize that your devices, even though you used them earlier, they seem to be recharged now. And if you focus all your energy on this door, you might just be able to electrocute the door and short circuit it, and it will open.
Sounds like a plan. On 3, everybody?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. And all of you guys blast into the door with your blasters and your pistol and your electric stick that you found, and the door just and then it just totally, all the lights on it go out and it swings open and you guys are out. So you have successfully made it out of the maze, and that is that.
Yay!
We did it!
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for playing that game with me. I hope you guys had fun.
Thank you. It was really fun.
Yeah.
So definitely.
All right. And if anybody wants to try to run this game, I will put also the link in the chat. This is the game that I made for Adventure April. And yeah, it was quite something. And I appreciate you guys playing the game with me today. All right, so is there anything, final words you guys want to say?
Support the WordiGirl.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate the support. If you guys want to figure out more about me, you can go to my website. And I do also have a world on WorldAnvil. So you can check that out. It is called Secret Agent Someone, and you will find out way more about this mysterious place called Albitrunca within the organization of Will-O-Wisp. And you can figure out for yourself if you think Will-O-Wisp is A-okay or if something's shady going on. But once again, thank you to everyone for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to all of my wonderful players. 101 Colonel, we have Roxoda, and we have Rumi. And I appreciate Secondhand Samurai for being awesome. And sorry for being late starting. I appreciate all of you guys who are in the chat and in the stream watching. And I believe that it's probably time for us all to grab our hammers and go world build. Thank you so much. Bye.